Hey, it's Kelly here, former crack addict, recovery coach, and Life Beyond Sobriety. That is my private online community for people in addiction recovery who want to set big goals now that they're sober and make those goals happen. We learn strategies in weekly live coaching sessions to make those things come true. Go to lifebeyondsobriety.com and check it out 2 weeks for free.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of Oxtails. It's actually been some time since we've had another Oxtails interview, but it was only a matter of time. We are back. Before we get started, let's do the basic housekeeping. I'm gonna ask you to like the video on your way in so that you don't gotta like the video on your way out. On top of that, just like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I check my analytics, y'all, and it's like 52% of y'all that's watching aren't subscribed. Just click the button, click the button. You know, we've been climbing. I appreciate everybody that's here. If you could turn your attention to the bottom of the screen, you know we got the quote of the year. The quote of the year is still the same. You can't buy energy. You got to get some sleep. That's from my man Breezy. You know you're going to get some gems when Brooklyn's in the house. You can't buy energy. You got to get some sleep. So, you know, the caffeine, the coffee, the 5-hour energies, that's not going to cut it, man. Lay down. Get some Z's. You know what I'm saying? Get you some rest. Rest your body. Drink a lot of water. You know, get some cardio in. But anyways, without further ado, let's get straight to business. Today on Oxtails, we got none other than your man, Chill Town Hoops. You might know him from TikTok, a bunch of viral clips. Can I get one more day? That's Chill. You might know him from the panel. You might know him from Chill with Chill, a show that I host on Saturdays at noon Eastern on the Players Choice channel. Without further ado, though, let's bring my man up. Let's get to it. What's up, Chill?
Yeah. I don't got a lot of time for a lot of stuff, but when my man called me, yeah, I got time for my man. Yes, I do.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you. Chill. Everybody's a little excited today. You know, today is the first game of the season, NFL season. You know, NFL starts. People get different. Chill. Like I don't think there's any there's no fandom like NFL fandom. It's dangerous fandom.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about tonight's game?
I'm not as excited about tonight's game as I am Monday night because my boys play. But What I can say is I don't want no more to do with Patrick Mahomes as a 49er. I'm good on Patrick Mahomes. I think we got a legit shot at winning the bowl game if somebody else could deal with Patrick Mahomes. You said this to me in other instances in the art of war. You can duck smoke. Teams duck smoke. Teams duck smoke. And I'm here to say I'm ducking Patrick Mahomes. I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want nothing to do with him.
That's just called self-preservation. You gotta look out for number one.
That's all it is. And I don't want nothing else to do with Patrick Mahomes. I asked for the rematch. I got it. I'm straight now. I'm good.
Who y'all got on Monday?
The Jets. They got to come out to the Bay. We're gonna handle them.
The Jets. Oh yeah, okay. Once I see you in the chat. No, this is not a new show. We just took a hiatus for a little while, but you know, we back in effect, and I figure it's only right that when we get back in effect, we come with a bomb like this one. So we got Chill in the building today. Yes, so Chill, is Joe Burrow's got to take care of Pat for y'all?
Yes, he does, and I'm less afraid of Joe Burrows as I am of Pat Mahomes, even though Joe Burrow did remind me last year when they came out to the Bay and they put a spanking on us. I had forgot how good he was, and he reminded me of that. But I feel better about going against him than I do against going against Pat Mahomes. I'm straight on Pat Mahomes. I'm straight on him.
Okay, cool. Well, for everybody, you've seen once asked in the comments. So for all y'all that aren't familiar with Oxtails, what we do here is interview content creators, entrepreneurs, athletes, and just all around interesting people. Chill, I think you fit into that mold in more than one of those categories. So let's just get into it, man. We start kind of with early life, like where you from, Chill?
I was born and raised in Jersey City, New Jersey. I got a younger brother, no sisters. He's an athlete also. He ran track. He's a marathon runner today. But I grew up with my grandmother raising me for the majority of my life. I got into basketball with my uncle. He was the one who introduced me to the game. He passed away 4 years ago due to COVID. He was my hero. I wanted to be just like him. I didn't really think much about basketball until him. Ever since I was like 5 years old, he was the one who got me into it. He used to work for UPS.
You were playing? Were you playing like other sports before that, or
I played football? I played football my freshman year of high school, and my mother came to one game, and I got hurt, and I was leading the team in sacks as a freshman. My mother came to one game, and I got hurt, and she made me quit right there on the spot. She wasn't having none of that. No, she was having that. So I had to sneak out and play basketball, even though my uncle was teaching me how to play basketball, but I had to sneak out and play basketball. And then she found out that I was pretty good at it. So, and my uncle was nudging her like, yo, this boy can play. So you might want to let him do this. And I ended up doing it.
Before that fateful day though, when your mother seen you get hurt playing football, was that an option for you in your mind? Like, was it were you thinking maybe football might be my route, or was it basketball from the jump?
It was. So in the Northeast, in the wintertime, when the nor'easter comes through and it snows, that's what we do. We go outside and we play football. And I really dug football. I was a big football fan. Plus, it also gave me an avenue to hang with the fellas. So it just so turns out that I wasn't bad at it. And it was another way to hang out with the fellas. I was doing that and I was getting good at it. And like I said, moms made me quit. I was disappointed. I definitely was disappointed because I felt like it was something that I was good at, and I could possibly, I'll not necessarily possibly do something with it, because I was never thinking that, you know, I could be like Reggie White or Lawrence Taylor or nobody like that. But it was something that I felt like I enjoyed this. I like playing football, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and I played wide receiver too. So that was dope.
Right. So we got a super chat from you already from the jump. A pimp named Slickback wants to know, Chill, how you from Jersey and not a Giants fan?
Well, it's interesting because my uncle, who introduced me to the game of basketball, he's a Giants fan. He was an avid Giants fan. He he worked for UPS, and he delivered in the same neighborhood where Lawrence Taylor lived. And he took me to a Giants game. I became a 49er fan because as a kid, my uncle was a Giants fan. My other uncle was a Steelers fan. My pops, my stepfather, he turned out to be a 49er fan. I told him, I'm like 8 years old. I'm like, all right, Pops, I'm going to start watching your team. And I've been down with them ever since.
Shout out to the Niners.
I've been down with them ever since.
Niners for sure. Yeah. Okay. So, like, what about school? How was that for you? So you was always like a real focused, serious about school, or was it because of hoop that you?
That's what it was, Ox. That was it right there. It was the trade-off. All right. Because school wasn't boring. It wasn't like school was boring to me, but my mother worked in the school system. So it was something that I had to do. It wasn't like I had an option of going to school. But I always felt like with school, there has to be a means to an end. All right. So if I'm going to be here, I'm going to be on the basketball team, and I'm in school, I might as well learn something while I'm here. And I've always been one of these advocates that you finish what you start, right? So I wasn't one of these straight ace, straight line dudes, because it took me a while to get focused. Like I said, school didn't bore me, but it could be a bit pretentious sometimes. Like, all right, I really just want to go play basketball. I do. I really do. But I knew that in order for me to be on the crew, I had to keep my grades up. And sometimes I slipped. Yeah, sometimes I slipped, and I got some heat from my mother, because it made it look like I was slow when she just was not trying to hear that. You know, she was not trying to hear me being in that mold of the dumb jock. She was not trying to hear that. That was not going on. So I had to tighten the belt and become a better student, and I did that. I did that.
And so I do already know. So you know, not going to be generic and just ask the question. I already know. I know you did end up, you know, playing college ball and whatnot. So I know a lot of people don't realize that they got the potential to do that, or that's even an option for them. Some of them don't realize that until their junior, senior year. I was aware of that from the jump just because of my pops. So where was it for you that you was like, you know what, I could play after this? I know you were on a heck of a team in high school, right? Your team was one of the best in the state. So how did you realize like I could go play college ball? Did you just start getting recruited, or was there somebody in your corner, your uncle maybe, that was kind of putting you up on this?
I was always a big fan of college basketball. When I was a kid, the Big East was a big deal when I was growing up. Syracuse, Georgetown, Syracuse, St. John's, and I was a big St. John's fan. And I always wanted to play college basketball, but I wasn't sure if it was a reality. My uncle was like the Boudini Brown for me. He was the one in my ear that was, yo, he can't cover you. yo, once you get going, you got one of those games where can't nobody stop you. But I still wasn't serious about it. It wasn't until my best friend, because like you just said, when I was in high school, the high school I went to, we finished number 2 in the country and we were undefeated in the state. But it was my junior year. Dude that I played with, his name was Roderick Rhodes, played at University of Kentucky, played in the NBA for a little while. He was the number 2 junior in the country. I'm a year ahead of him. Well, while we're playing and, we're in open gym and things like that, Mike Krzyzewski, Bobby Crimmins, head coach at Georgia Tech, PJ Carlesimo, Ox, you name them, they're all showing up. So with these people showing up, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he can't go to all of these schools. So I got to get serious, right? I got to get serious about what's going on, because while they see him, they're going to see the rest of us too. So I got to get serious about what I'm doing. And he was able to keep bringing recruits in, and I was able to manifest that. And it was probably my junior year was when I got, and that's a regret that I have too, Ox, because I wasn't as serious as I could have been. The childhood that I had with, transitioning from my parents' house, my mother and my stepfather, to my grandmother's, because me and my stepfather, we really didn't get along very well. It was a real difficult relationship that we had, and transitioning from that to with my grandmother, who she wasn't strict with me, but there was very much a respect factor that I had with her, where I knew I couldn't be out all night. I knew I couldn't be just doing whatever I wanted to do. I knew that, but I also wasn't really as disciplined as I should have been, as I could have been. That's why when I got to high school, like probably around the 11th grade, when I transferred different high schools, the coach that was there, Coach Bob Hurley, he started to hold me accountable. He started to make a schedule where I had to be a certain place, and this is how we do things. So this is the way things are going to be. Then, if you're serious about this, you have to get on it, and you have to be serious. So my grade, I struggled with it initially. I did. I had a difficult time with it initially, Ox, because I was running around and I really didn't have that much discipline. And then I got with him, and it started to materialize, and I became a lot better at it.
Well, nowadays, like in high school, even in junior high school, kids are like switching schools just for basketball. I transferred schools for a couple of circumstances, but I decided to go to this certain school because of the basketball.
Yeah.
Was that a determining factor for you when you said you changed schools? Was that because of the team, or was it like close to your grandmother's house? Or
that's the only reason why I went there, because of the basketball. Because I wanted to. It was exactly what we just got finished talking about in terms of wanting to play college basketball. I wanted to play at the next level, and it turns out in the 9th grade, in the 10th grade, that if I worked at it, maybe I could play at that level. And I knew that where I was at that specific time, I didn't feel like I was advancing, Ox. I didn't feel like I was learning anything. I didn't feel like my game was getting better. And, them 4 years when you're in high school, they go by quick. So if you're not working on your game, if you're not getting the proper education, then you're probably not going to make it. So I knew that in order for me, even though I didn't want to go there initially, I knew that in order for me to get to where I was trying to go, I couldn't stay where I was. So I ended up going to open gyms that they were having at St. Anthony. And, the coach there, Coach Hurley, he wasn't really feeling me initially because it was the rival high school. He wasn't really feeling me. He was like, man, get this dude out of here. And then one of my best friend, his brother, called me up one day. He was like, yo, come down to the gym. I'm like, he ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna throw me out again. So why am I coming down there? So I came down there and I started playing, got busy. And he steps to me. He was like, hey, I want to talk to your grandmother. I want to talk to your mother about you coming here. And I basically ran home all the way. I was like, it's like Pat Riley offering you a contract. I ran home like, yo, he wants me to come here. He wants me to go here. And it took off from there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Cool. So, what about like the recruitment process? And then I know you play college ball. Like, you got any maybe any advice or decision making when you get recruited and what you were kind of looking for, and then why you made the decisions to go to the schools you went to?
So again, it goes back to being a better student. That's the one thing that I regret. I could have done much better in school than I did. I probably did just enough, and that wasn't good enough. When you have good grades, you have options. And if you don't remember nothing, remember these schools, they came to see you because somebody told them about you. So in order for you to be successful, as a college basketball player at that level, you got to go somewhere where you think basketball should be played, not the way they think you should be playing, because that turns your game around and that could screw you up. When I was coming up, I wasn't able to pass the SAT because, again, I was BSing, and I ended up going to junior college. And then when I went to junior college, I struggled a bit because I wasn't really tuned in. It wasn't because I didn't get it. I was really focused on other things, but I was able to still get a Division I scholarship. I ended up at Utah State. I was a junior college All-American. We had a really good team that I was there. But the regret that I have is, had I studied more and gotten better grades, I mean, I got good enough grades to get in school, but had I gotten better grades, I think that I could have been able to write a better ticket for myself. So in the future, for any of you young dudes that's listening, make sure that when you're in school, you write your own ticket by the grades that you get. And remember, they came to see you. You didn't call them up. You didn't ask to come see them. So you go play somewhere where you think basketball should be played, not the way they think you should be playing.
Yeah, I got to second that. Sure, that's great advice. I mean, you're going to be there anyway. Like, you're going to be at school anyway. Take it seriously, getting them books. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. It's kind of like, you got a limited amount of time to make the best of it. You better go do that. Yeah. So that's great. That's great. And so I know you played ball overseas for a little while as well. How was that experience? Like, was it much of a culture shock? Did you adapt good? And like, how was the competition out there?
So when I first went overseas, I played in Ireland for the first time, and I had a great time in Ireland, to be honest with you. Irish people know how to have fun, let me tell you. And on top of that, the basketball wasn't terrible. It was good. The competition was good. I enjoyed my time over there. When I went to Belgium, I didn't love it. It was in the second division. I didn't love it. It was a short time. And at that time, I was recognized, and I was probably 27, 28, and I was recognizing that me playing in the NBA probably isn't as realistic. But let me double back. When I went to Ireland, right? When I went to Ireland, that was in 1999. I go over there and I played really well. And I go from there to, in summer of 2000, my best friend is playing, Roderick. He's playing on the Portland Trailblazers Summer League team. I get invited down to Long Beach to play on a free agent Summer League team. I get busy playing on that Summer League team, and I actually end up signing a contract to go play for the Manchester Giants in England. So I'm going over to England. This is at the end of October. I'm sorry, this is at the end of August, early September. I'm going to England. Well, the team folds. So that didn't work out. So then I end up going to Belgium the next year. And it wasn't really what I thought it was going to be, but it was okay. And I didn't love it, but I played a little bit. Then I played in Greece in the second division with my man Rod for a little bit. But the overseas experience, it was great, man. I really enjoyed Greece. Belgium, not so much, because the Africans in Belgium, they really didn't love Black Americans. We were treated a lot different. But Irish people, man, I had a great time over there. I did.
What did you like more, Ireland or Greece?
Oh, Greece is paradise, no doubt about it. Greece is definitely paradise, no doubt. The people, the food, the atmosphere, I loved Greece. It was great over there, man. I had a great time. We lived in a town called Glyfada, and it was just a great atmosphere. Greek people are very welcoming. They always ask what you want to eat, and they always got good food. And the basketball was great. I mean, we was able to see, like when I was over there, one of the guys that we grew up watching, one of the OGs' name was David Rivers. He played for the Lakers. He ended up playing over there, and we saw him. That was dope. I thought that was really dope.
That's fine. So, what was it like transitioning out of being an athlete, or I mean, I know you're still an athlete, still athletic today, but I mean, like when you were done playing ball, pro ball, and you go back home to start career life or family life or whatever. How was that transition? Was it a smooth transition, or were you still always still got that itch?
It was hard, Ox, and the reason why it was hard is because I felt like when I was in college, like going to Utah State, I felt like I didn't get a chance, an opportunity to really show how good I could be. And I think that kind of thwarted my career on whatever I wanted to do. So because of that, that I held on to that for a long time, and it really affected me for a lot of years, because there were years where I felt like I could still play, but I knew I wouldn't get an opportunity. So the transition from playing basketball to now being a civilian, where, you know, I got to go get a job and I got to make a life for myself, and that was fine, right? I was able to do that, but I still held on a lot of times to the idea that, damn, what if I would have went to a different school and actually gotten an opportunity to play and show how good I was? Because, you know, I never sat on the bench anywhere, Ox. Eighth grade, from the 8th grade, my team in the 8th grade, you know, we won the county championship. When I was in high school, my team won, we finished 2nd in the country. I was a starter on that team. When I was in junior college, I was a junior college All-American. I never sat on the bench anywhere. So I get to this school where I'm playing 10, 12 minutes a game, and I'm barely playing games, and I'm watching guys while I'm while I'm sitting on the bench going, I'm better than him. And this guy's an all-league guy, by the way. This guy's a all Big West performer. I'm like, I'm better than that. But I move later on to civilian life, and it was tough initially, but I was able to handle it. It took a little while, but I was able to handle it.
Right. Okay. And so from that, you know, coming home, you know, living a civilian life, working, how did you find yourself in this realm from being a athlete, a top-notch athlete playing pro ball, to now being you know, on social media discussing basketball, and with that being said too, now you played in one area, now you're discussing it in this area. How did you even end up in doing this at all? How did you ever even end up on the internet? Like, what was the first thing that got you on the internet?
I wasn't a big social media fan, Ox. I can tell you right now, I hated like Facebook and Snapchat. I didn't have any of that stuff, none of it, because I'm very much a not necessarily a private person, but I don't like a lot of people. I ain't in a lot of people's business, and I was raised like that. Like, and I don't want a lot of people in my business. I was never really like that. So my best friend, again, Roderick, he says to me, this is in 2020. He's like, yo, I don't know if you know anything about TikTok, but my kids, they love it. They absolutely love it. You should check it out. I wake up every day, and for an hour, I get on it, and then I get on with my day. So it was during COVID. And I was like, I'm going to stick my head in here and see what this is. And I did. And there's this guy on there talking about the Bulls. He's talking about Jordan in 1985, 86, that Bulls team that he was on. Yo, he had help. He had Orlando Woolridge, and he had George Gervin. And I'm thinking, okay, no, he didn't. I was around during that time. That team was super whack. So no, he didn't. I ended up stitching it and explaining who was on the crew. When I stitch it, next thing I know, I'm getting questions. Hey, can you tell me about Len Bias? How good was Moses? David Robinson, how good is he? We go from that, Ox, to now I'm OG. I'm OG now, and I go from having no followers to, in a month, I got 30,000, and I go from 30,000 to 100,000, and I'm like,
but when was it that month? Was that 30,000? You realized like, yo, something's going on here, or was it before that, like 5,000? Was it like, did you wake up one morning like, yo, I got 5,000? What's going on? Like,
yes, that's exactly what happened, Ox. That quickly, it went from having, I don't even know what followers are, right? So right. I have no idea what followers are, and next thing I know, I got 30,000 people clicked on here following me, and they're asking me about Kevin Love and LeBron. I tell them that I think LeBron James is the GOAT, and no, it's not. What's your top 10? And that 30,000 goes to 100,000, and now I'm OG. And I kind of got shoved into this, and that's how I became a part of. That's how I became a part of TikTok, and then I moved over to YouTube, which I had no idea what I was doing, and I just kind of typed my name in and put a camera in front of me and started talking. Next thing I know, I got 30,000 followers on YouTube.
On TikTok, when that happened, when you woke up that morning, or you know what I'm saying, it was just like boom, when you realize, wait a second, I got momentum, something's happening here.
Yeah.
How did you go about that? Did you call somebody like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Or did you reach out to somebody? Did somebody help you maneuver that? Or did you just kind of just take it in stride and just?
I still didn't think it was a big deal, Ox, to be honest with you. Because again, I don't know much about social media at that point. I don't know anything about followers. I don't know anything about Snapchat. I don't know anything about Facebook like that. So I'm just thinking, okay, you got 30,000 followers, you got 100,000 followers. I mean, what does that even mean? Does that mean that people recognize you and people listen to what you're saying? Okay, fine, sure. So I would stitch or I would answer questions online, and I'm still not processing what this is. Even to this day, I don't. I still don't think that it's a big deal. I talk basketball. That's what I do. I talk basketball. I don't think that it's a big deal. But the next thing I know, I'm up to like 250,000 and 400,000 and 5. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is this something that? And then I got other people now wanting to talk to me, right? I got people calling me. I got people. I don't even know what DMing means, Ox, at this point. I'm like, what the hell does DM mean? All right. But I got people DMing me like, yo, I'd like to get you on my show and I'd like to talk to you. And the next thing I know, this thing has now turned into something. And that's what it's been ever since then. It's been great.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So we all saw you on ESPN. How did you end up on ESPN?
I would do my TikTok lives and would be doing my TikTok lives. One day, one of the people in the chat said, yo, Richard Jefferson is here and he wants to talk to you. Because, you know, when it's very much like how you have, like when we on Chill with Chill and we got the lobby going on, it's the exact same thing on TikTok where you got the lobby going on and somebody in the lobby typed in the chat, like you have your chat here, goes, yo, Richard Jefferson is in the lobby. Richard Jefferson, like the Richard Jefferson from NBA Today. Like, all right, whatever. Let me click on. Next thing I know, I'm talking to this guy, and we chatting about basketball, and he's telling me that there's a lot of people on the internet that are clueless. He said, but I came across. He said, I hear a lot of people that aren't very smart, but I see this thing come across my feed, and it's you. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This guy knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to pay attention to him. Next thing I know, he invites me on his podcast with him, Channing Frye. I'm doing that, and then we go from that to right before the season starts. He asked me to put a hot take together about who I think is going to be, whether it's a good team, a player, what I think it is. So what I did was I talked about, for the first time, I talked about Herb Jones, what I thought Herb Jones was going to be. And next thing I know, I'm watching NBA Today, and he ends up running. And I'm like, yo, that's me on TV. What the hell? Wow. So it didn't really spread like wildfire or anything like that, but I thought that was real cool. I did.
Right.
I thought that was real cool.
Okay, and then the transition from YouTube. Well, first, what do you prefer, YouTube or TikTok?
To be honest with you, Ox, I really like what we do here on YouTube because I feel like the advertising. I mean, on TikTok, I mean, that's what TikTok seems to be. The following, it seems to be a kid thing, when in reality it's not. It's a bunch of adults. I do a show every morning, and every morning that I do a show, I have a bunch of adults on there, and we talk basketball. And in the process of us talking basketball, it's a bunch of adults that come on and ask about the Cavs. But the perception of TikTok is that it's a kid thing when it's not. And that part I really don't like. But what I would prefer, there isn't one that I really prefer, but of course I'm going to go with the one that's I got the most following, and that's TikTok.
Right. Okay, so was the transition to YouTube when Shaq hit you up to be on Player's Choice, or are you already on YouTube?
I was already on YouTube. I got on YouTube in 2021. Yeah, I think 2021 I got on YouTube, and I was basically doing the same thing that I was doing on TikTok. Ox, I don't know what I'm doing, right? I see the camera, and I got a camera, and I'm just talking basketball. That's all I did. And now that goes from that to I figure out how to put 15-minute segments together in the morning, and that's my take for the day. And my following started to grow. And with that growing, I mean, I remember you telling me about how you would tap in from time to time and see what I had going on. That's how my following started to grow, and it just took off from there. So now what I do is very much like what I do with with TikTok where you'll see us on the panel and we'll have, you know, debates and things like that. And I'll have live feeds Monday nights, like Wednesdays, Thursdays. I'll have live feeds where I'll talk about not just the stuff that we talked about, but I'll talk about what's going on in the league. And I'll have people up like it's a live show. So not like it's a live show. It's a live show. And it's been pretty successful. It has been.
Okay. That's dope. That's dope.
Yep.
I know most people here should be following, but if you're not, make sure to subscribe to Chilltown and check out those live streams for sure. Definitely. So being a part of PC, getting in PC, like that was that like a major decision for you? Did you have to think about it? Do you feel like it was the right move?
I initially told Shaq no once, twice. I wasn't interested because like I didn't know what this was. Like I didn't really know where we were going with this. So I'm like, no, I think I'm good. And next thing I know, like Shaq is beating down my door. Boom, boom, boom. Like, listen, I want you on Player's Choice.
Right.
So I was like, all right, bet I'll give it a run. Next thing I know, I'm vibing with you dudes. I'm talking basketball, and this thing seems to work, right? It seems to work, and I feel like I'm on a crew where like I fit in with what's going on here, and I think that's dope, right? I feel like I'm not one of those players that, you know, I'm over here and the rest of the guys are over here. I'm a bigger deal. No, I feel like I'm a part of the crew, as opposed to I'm just because of how I made my name. You know, I'm already over here and the rest of you dudes. No, it's not. I don't feel like that at all. I feel like I'm already on the crew, and with me being on the crew, I'm just a part of this. And I think that's dope.
Right.
Yep.
So, I mean, now that you know, it kind of happens like spontaneously, it seems. And I mean, it seems like you're making the most of it. But now that you're in that mindset, because I just recently, it was earlier this year, I think maybe December, January time, I decided, like, you know what, this is actually kind of cool, and I want to take this content creating thing seriously. So even myself, like, I'm making big plans. I'm starting to kind of save up some, put some money aside to budget out what I can do this next year, and just try to make something really happen on YouTube and doing this content creating thing. How was it for you? Are you making plans like for the future in content creating, or are you just kind of taking it as it goes?
Well, it's a combination of the two, where I'm learning as much as I can about how to like a background and things like that, getting new microphones, making sure my setup is what it is. Because again, this wasn't something that I was serious about until I recognized like the following that I have. But with that, I now, especially when we went to PC Weekend and I saw what it was and I saw how we ended up meshing, I was like, all right, I am gonna be more serious. But I'm not one of these people that's okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm definitely gonna take this as it goes.
Right. Yeah. I definitely don't want to be like that, like, thirsty for content, to where I have to, it's just it's not the way to go. I think we can do it organically and still have a plan though. We still have a plan. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. You kind of wanted to, let the people learn a little more about you and kind of just learn about how you, got into this content creating thing and what it means to you. Is it serious or Chill? One more question. If you were offered a position at one of these other networks, like on the TV, whatever it might be, FS1, ESPN. Right. But they said if you do ESPN, you can no longer do your own content online.
That would be hard.
What would that be?
I mean, you would have to make it worth my while. Let's put it like that. Right. In order for me to shut everything down, you would have to make it worth my while in order for me to do that, because that's how I came into this, right? Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I would love to be married to one thing. I would love to have that, but with what I do, I'm used to having my own schedule. I'm used to creating my own content. I don't want to be one of these people who I only get to talk about what you want me to talk about instead of what I want to talk about and how I want to talk about it. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to talk about what I want to talk about in the manner that I want to talk about it. And if I can't do that, then I don't think that it's, to be honest with you, I don't think it's worth my while. No.
Yeah. The freedom to kind of create whatever is, I think that's very valuable.
Right.
I enjoy that because over like on my channel too, it's not a sports channel. Like my channel, we do a lot of different things, a lot of real life topics. I'll do a lot of different type of interviews. You know, a lot of different type of live streams. We have all different types of topics. We've had topics from interracial marriage to the harm that the hip hop has on the people and all different types of stuff. You know, so I enjoy being able to do that. Like I don't want to be. I would hate it if somebody was on there like, no, you got to talk about this today. You got to talk about that today. I would hate that. You know, kind of like when Ron makes up nonsense topics on the panel. It's just like, Ron, I don't want to talk about that.
Get out of here with that.
Like, Ron, stop it.
Ron, if you're watching this, wait till we see you. I'm telling you right now, Ron, when we see you, it's on site. I'm telling you, Ron, man. When we see you, it is on site. We're going to rough you up, brother. Yes, we are.
Chill, speaking of PC, we wrapping it up, y'all, but I need to know, Chill, do you want to answer these allegations that have recently come out against you about rigging the PCL? Chill, look, Chill, I'm not accusing you. I'm just letting you know of the allegations that are out there. They said that you picked the easy group, and then somehow OG the Beast mysteriously doesn't show up last night. Right. Chill, these people, there's a lot of buzzing going around. I'm just here to let you know.
So let's get to the bottom of that. If I was able to have that kind of power, why not just put myself in the championship right from the beginning? Why am I even picking? I don't even know why I'm picking the easiest bracket. I could just put myself in the championship right from the beginning. I don't have to see any of these dudes. That's number one. Number two, of all the people who do not, I repeat, of all the people who do not duck smoke, OG the Beast does not. Mm-hmm. He does not duck smoke. He had some family stuff going on. He had a lot of stuff going on, so he couldn't make it. That was legit. There have been plenty of times. In fact, that's how I actually got into the podcast business. With me and OG the Beast, we first started. It was him and myself, and the name of the show was called Sports Behavior, and we would go at it. Would go at it it was every Tuesday night. We would go at it, and there was times when I left out of there with a black eye and a busted lip because we would go at it, and there was times when he left out with bruises and battered up, but we would go at it. So of all the people who wasn't ducking smoke, he was not. I can tell you that right now. He was definitely down. If he could have been there yesterday, he would have been there, and it would have definitely been epic because he and I go at it all the time. So when I found out that he couldn't make it, I knew that something was wrong. It had nothing to do with that. I knew that for a fact.
Right. For sure. I hope everything's all right with OG the Beast, man. But yeah, so that's pretty much that, Chill. I'm gonna let you get out of here so we can go catch this Chiefs game, you know, and watch Patrick Mahomes continue to be a Travis Kelce merchant. But but yeah. All right, Chill. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Really appreciate you giving your time to us over here and, you know, letting us learn a little more about you, man. Appreciate you.
Sir, absolutely, man. You know where to find me at, Big Ox. I'll catch you later, my man. Be easy.
Before I let you go, Chill, do you want to shout out your channel? Shout out where the people can find you on a regular basis?
So if any of you guys aren't familiar, I do a show, or I do TikTok 9 a.m. Monday to Friday. It's called Good Morning NBA. If you can't find me there, you can find me on YouTube on Chilltown Hoops on Monday night. If I'm not there, you can find me Tuesday nights with me and my man Tone. We do Fluent and Chill. I'm on Monday nights, Wednesday nights, sometimes Thursday. And if I'm not there, you can find me Saturday afternoon, 12 p.m. with my man right here, Big Ox. We do Chill with Chill. So I'm not hard to find, man, if you're looking for me. So I'm everywhere. So
no doubt.
Yes, sir.
All right, Chill. Appreciate you.
Be easy, Ox. You know where to find me at, brother. Later.
No doubt. Ooh. Well, all right, y'all. That was another Oxtails interview. I told you we was coming back with more Oxtails. I'm going to keep them going, y'all. I'm going to keep them going. We took a quick sabbatical. You know, I had to get some things straight, but we picking it up over here, you know. And we are back to happier days on this channel, y'all, because it's real over here. I want to remind y'all before I let you go that you can't buy energy. You got to get some sleep, man. Catch some Z's, man. That's from my man Breezy. Instead of the caffeine, all that, the 5-hour energies, it's not gonna get it done for you, man. Take care of your body, get some rest. Once again, y'all. Also, don't forget, we are doing Ox and Pirates America tonight. So we'll be back in an hour with that. So y'all get ready, man. Get ready. Come right back. We'll be here in an hour. Yeah. We are back to happier times, y'all. It's real over here.